New York City, we're going through a little bit of turmoil. The Knicks just fired their head coach. And Eve has been ridiculously wrong about some Nets facts. Okay, I brought my boy Bam Bigger Nose back on the show. We're about to talk about it in New York City. Let's talk hoops. I've been consistent on with my feelings on the Nets all season. But after watching last night's game, who could be mad at that? And I've already done the episode where I've said sorry. Well, not necessarily I said sorry. I said I was wrong, right? But still, you have to look at that and feel good about the team. But at the same time, I think what's happening in Brooklyn had a little bit of effect of what's happening in Manhattan. They fired their coach. And I think it's for the worst reasons that you could possibly do it. They needed a fall guy. And I haven't seen much accountability in terms of, admitting they did something wrong in the front office. They're scrambling right now. They look bad. The ratings are down on MSG. It's a shit show. And I think a lot of that shit show came from the fact that the Nets are killing right now. To talk about this, to sort this whole thing out, I bought my man 50 grand, the one and only Bam Bigger Nose back on the show. Bam, tell me just an overview of how you're feeling and say hi to the people.
Well, what's up, everybody? How am I feeling about the Knicks? I love every second of it. I thoroughly enjoy their failure. So seeing their coach get fired, well, I've got nothing against him personally. I just love that a couple days prior to that, the Fat Joe's out there saying Durant and Irving didn't want the smoke. Well, you're right. They didn't want that smoke.
No.
Because they didn't want to go to an organization that's unstable in the front office, in the coaching staff. So if it makes Knicks fans feel better to think that they are the reason that these guys didn't go, so be it. So I'm thoroughly enjoying watching the Knicks be one of the worst teams. But I would like to know that I'm a seasoned hater. So I don't want them to be too bad. You always want them to be like the 7th or 8th worst team in the league. Just in that middle where the season's miserable, but not quite the hope of getting a top pick.
I feel bad for them. You know why I feel bad for them? Because some of the people I care about the most are Knicks fans. And the unfortunate part of that is it's like I watch every single game just to be able to talk about it, and I'm looking at this team and I'm like, how can the Knicks fans not see what's going on? They brought back Steve Mills and thought they would get some kind of other result, and here we are. They're talking about, we're starting to rebuild. You haven't made the playoffs in 7 years. Your rebuild
the Knicks are? The Knicks are the only child, and the fans are the parent. And in their eyes,
yes,
the kid can do no wrong. And for a long time, and even still now, that's why we're in Brooklyn, and we're having some success with a bright future ahead of us. Most people still don't care about the Nets. That's just the reality. And a lot of Knicks fans just haven't been told no. There was no other fan base to keep you in check throughout the year. So all my friends and Knicks fans, some of them are wise and are sick of the shit. Others just continue to just believe that the next move will be the right one. And
right, but they know
that's fine with me.
They know their organization is shit. It's like they're not blind. I'm always saying this. They play in a Sunni gym. They train in the SUNY
Right.
gym. They
The
don't
gym
have the
they
best.
practice in looks like the gyms I played in when I was playing Division III basketball.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And they have all the money and all the resources, and they don't have like an army of scouts. They're not scouring Europe to find like players that you could plug in here and there, and they have the most money. That is the reason why Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving didn't go to you.
I say it all the time. They do more, or they do less with more than certainly any New York franchise. But then, the resources, the fans, the exposure they have to be this bad, really, they're like the Browns.
Yeah.
But the Browns don't have the advantages there. Like, it's cold as shit in Cleveland, and you got to play outside.
Yeah. Odell wants to get out of there ASAP.
Yeah, Odell wishes he was on the Giants right now. He's learning. It's just ridiculous that the Knicks can't just. I mean, look, every franchise for the most part is going to go through some down periods, but they're going through down decades now.
Yeah,
and it's more than just like who they're drafting. It's what they do with these guys when they draft them. I mean, do you think Knox is better than he was last year, or Mitchell Robinson, or Frank? I don't think these guys are really any better.
And they're not better because they don't have the best development, crew in basketball, and they should. How hard would it like?
It's a bizarre scenario.
Sean Marks, the first hire he made was a Navy SEAL to head up our training department. I'd never heard the word performance team before. Like, I heard the Nets do it, and of course, like the ultimate reason why the Nets will ultimately win is because they have superstars like Kyrie and KD. However, that is only built on pillars of just competence. That they have a team that takes care of their players' bodies. They have a strategy for each player. They develop whoever they get in. One of the things that angered me in the beginning of the season was watching the young Nets play on the bench. Now, Musa, that that's my youngest son. He's looked garbage. He's looked terrible.
He might be 2 years away, to be honest.
But I think he needs that playing time. Right now, he's scared. I see it. It's just that little bit of a just questioning himself that puts him in his shot just that so much off. Once he relaxes and believes that he's supposed to be in the NBA, he will be a good man off the bench. And what I really, honestly, not to say I want to trade the kid, but at the very least you play them so that they can have value in the open market. The Knicks depress their assets. The kids that play with them, they were complaining about not drafting Moody Eye and not drafting Dennis Smith Jr. They end up with both of them. I remember just hearing Knicks fans all the time complaining about not drafting those guys. They end up with both of them while keeping Nielinka, and they can't develop one. Jesus.
You know what sums up the Knicks? Why the fuck did they sign Bobby Portis?
After they signed Morris?
Somebody has to explain that move to me. What does he do for you if you're the Knicks? He's the kind of guy that, like, if he was on the Lakers, he'd have no choice but to fall in line, play within himself. They gave him, $15 million for one season?
And they thought they outsmarted people. They thought they outsmarted people by saying, oh, these are short-term contracts. You know what that means? That means you just invested in people that's filling voids in your team that is not creating any continuity, cohesion. Right. You're not building any kind of culture. None of your players define how you play. This is you just threw in mercenaries, and you're still shit.
And particularly a guy like him. So we can disagree on Jared Dudley, the player, but the Nets knew what they were getting in Jared Dudley, the person, last year when they took his salary on. Obviously, draft compensation came with it. But they were also like, this is the kind of vet we need on our team with Damari Carroll and the Ed Davises. These guys on short-term contracts who had either already made their money or never really made a ton. It was like the character. A guy like Portis doesn't give a shit what the final score is. He's strictly playing for a contract next year.
For his numbers.
Strictly playing for a contract.
Morris, too. Morris is trying to make himself valuable enough to end up on a Lakers. Or find his way on the Bucks team to try to eke out a championship. Listen,
I would love to have him on our squad. I'll tell you that though.
He'd be good. He'd fix a lot of problems.
We just can't. There's just no path to it.
No, and they wouldn't do it. He's not their type of dude.
First of all, I don't even think we can make it work financially.
No.
In a trade for anything we give up. But let's not even waste our time on the Knicks because that's exactly what they are. They are a waste of time.
You hate to see it.
I love to see it. I love every second of it.
You hate to see it, man.
I don't want them to ever be good. You know what?
My dream would be that they were
we can knock them out of the playoffs.
Yes, that's what I would love it to be competitive.
Floor, but other than that, I don't give a shit about them.
To just see
and their fans. If you're a Knicks fan listening, fuck you.
To just see KD rip their hearts out year after year, like doing this is like it feels kind of gross that we just beat them down every time we see them.
Right.
It's ugly. So the Nets, huh?
You know what? Good.
So the Nets, huh? Like, what the hell is going on? How did we get here?
Well, I'll tell you where I'm at with the Nets. I think come April, and I'll even say May, we are going to be a very difficult out for whoever we play, which might be two teams this year. But I think what's very important is that when Kyrie does come back and LeVert comes back, that LeVert comes off the bench with Spencer. If Kyrie comes back first, I would bring him off the bench for a couple games first to get him up to speed. But I think...
Let me stop you there. Let's talk about this.
Go ahead.
Right?
Okay.
If you play Kyrie and Spencer at the same time in the starting lineup, you have the worst defensive backcourt in the NBA. Part of the thing that's killing me about Karras is... Oh, okay. I thought you said when Karras comes back, you put him on the bench.
I would have Karras coming off the bench with Spencer. I would start Joe, Jarrett, Temple, Prince, and Kyrie. And my reasoning is just let the offense run entirely through.
You can't start Temple
Kyrie,
over.
like it's kind of doing now.
You can't start Temple over Karras. They've invested too much into Karras. Listen, they gave Karras big money for Karras. Like the money Karras, it's not like Karras got super money. It's like super max money or max money. He got very good rookie money, and his numbers don't really reflect very good rookie. Like I love Karras. Karras is my oldest son, and I've been touting big things. I've said Karras is going to be I've said crazy things like Karras is going to be Paul George with court vision. And, so far a lot of it has to do with injuries, but you can't leave him on the bench. No matter how good Garrett Temple has been, and we can argue about how good he's been, you can't put Garrett Temple in the lineup over Karras. It's not with the investment that you've made in him.
The Nets have built a culture, at least they hope, of being about the team and winning. It's not because Temple's a better player than LeVert. That would be an outlandish thing to say. But for the good of the team, especially with a guy like Kyrie, to have another dominant ball handler with him is tough. Particularly because he's missed a lot of time. He basically missed camp. I think for the best of the team, have him start the game. Defenses are lax early in the game. You can put him in pick and rolls, letting Jarrett dive, and you surround him with shooters. And then, 4 minutes into the game, like they're doing with Musa now, then you insert Karras into the lineup. And I think that's the best way to stagger the units together. If they put Karras in, whatever, that's fine. But I think I would start. I think I saw Matt Brooks said the same thing. You got him on your show a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just balances the roster better. I really do.
Let me rebut
and it
that.
doesn't really matter who's starting. There's so much time